back to the Fool's Gold Plant-Based Barbecue Show. I'm Brian Rodgers, and today we're going to do another one of our base recipes. This is one of my favorite recipes because it's so easy to make. Not everybody loves this, but I certainly do. We're going to be doing smoked tempeh today. Now, Brian, what's tempeh? All right? I know that's what you're asking. All tempeh is, you can buy it at the store, and it kind of comes like this. And I know you're like, what the heck is that? Like, what are you going to do with that, Brian? That looks disgusting, right? And it does look a little funny when you first get it. You can also make smoked tempeh, but all tempeh is, the most store-bought kind is a non-GMO soybean, and it's cultured. So they use a cultured bacteria, actually, and they culture soybeans down, and then it makes these little cakes, kind of like this. I make my own tempeh sometimes. For today's recipe, I'm just going to use the kind you can buy at any grocery store, definitely health food stores like Whole Foods or things like that, but almost any grocery store you can find this now. But as I said, store-bought uses soybeans. I like to use my baked beans. So if you look at my baked bean recipes, I'll make baked bean tempeh. You can make it out of garbanzo beans. You can make it out of black beans. Whatever bean you like, you can make it. Now, one great thing about tempeh is a lot of people say if you're on a plant-based diet, how do you get a lot of protein? This is a really high source of protein in a plant-based diet. There's about 16 grams of protein per serving in tempeh, which is more than beef, more than chicken, more than almost anything out there. So the way you prepare tempeh is two different ways. You can either just do it as is and you can throw it right in the smoker, or you can steam it. A lot of people like to steam it for about 10 minutes. I'm not going to do that today because I like it just the way it is. So all you're going to do with the tempeh is you can either make like little brisket type strips out of it, or you can also make ribs out of it. So if you cut it long, like, let me just cut one for example, like this. I used to like to use a serrated knife for that. Notice that looks kind of like a rib, right? So if you cut it like that, it kind of has the shape of a rib. So a lot of people like to do ribs like that. And in fact, our tempeh rib recipe that's on our website, it does it this exact way. But we're going to cut it into thin slices for today, and we're going to do like a brisket. So we're going to cut this into thin slices like so, like this. And again, I like to use a serrated knife for this part of it. Cut into little strips just like so, like that. And we're going to do the whole thing. Cut these in. Don't worry if it starts to break apart. It's perfectly fine. We're going to cut these later anyways and make it into sandwiches. Or it can be tacos. In fact, I think we'll do a taco recipe with these. So they look something similar to that when they're done. So just like little strips. And then I'm going to actually cut these strips in half like that. And that's really it with tempeh. So we're going to take a restaurant pan like we always do in all of our base recipes. And we're going to throw that tempeh in there. And then for the rub on this, we're going to use about 1 tablespoon of your favorite, whatever rub you want. I'm going to use our tempeh rib rub for today. So we're going to throw our tempeh rib rub in there. And we're going to use 1 tablespoon of demerara sugar. You can find it on our website. And we're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of, I think we're going to use hickory salt today. 1/4 teaspoon of our Fool's Gold hickory salt. And for this recipe, I'm going to use a little bit of Dijon mustard. It doesn't call for this on our recipe, but I like to use a little Dijon on things just to make the rub stick to it. So I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, like so. And that's about it. Throw those out of the way. And then all you're going to do from here is rub it. So as we always do on all of our videos, I'm going to put gloves on for this for today. So you don't have to do this, but I'm actually cooking this for somebody else today. So I'm going to use gloves, even though my hands are more than clean. So we're going to just take the tempeh then. This is my favorite part. Rub this in really good, just like we do on all of our base recipes. And feel free to experiment with different rubs. You know, if you've got a certain kind of rub you like and you don't want to use Fool's Gold rub, you're more than welcome to do that. There is some advantages to using the rubs that we have on our website. They were specially formulated just for plant-based barbecue. I think we have a video on that talks to you about what we did with our award-winning rubs and our sauces to actually make them work better with plant-based barbecue, such as tempeh and seitan and vegetables and things like that. So there is definitely an advantage to using our rubs. And that's about it. So you get that going real good and get it coated. Once it's coated, it'll look something like that, and it's ready to go to the smoker. So we're going to put this in the smoker for about an hour, and you can do this on your bag smoker, the wood-infused bag smokers. You can do it on your range top smoker. You can do this on your Weber smoker, your Traeger smoker. If you're a barbecue restaurant, you have an Oklahoma smoker or whatever you have, this will work. Now, if you were doing this for a large group, you'd obviously have a bigger restaurant pan, but same recipe. All of our recipes will definitely scale to whatever size you want to cook, or down to whatever size you want to cook with. Just double the recipe, triple the recipe, quadruple, and it works well with plant-based. So let's go to the smoker and let's get the smoked up. Okay, here we are back, and this is what it looks like once it's done. Notice it doesn't look the same anymore. It looks smoked. We just simply smoked it with some hickory wood today. So that's what it looks like. Done. And let me just I'm going to get a little spoon here, and I'm just going to kind of stir this up. Oh man, that looks so amazing. So that's the smoked tempeh, and from here you can either refrigerate this or you can finish it off with some barbecue sauce and make some incredible tacos out of that. You can make bowls out of that. You can make wraps. It makes just incredible brisket all by itself. Some nachos. I love tempeh nachos. Oh, love tempeh nachos. So look for some of our tempeh recipes coming soon, but once you learn how to make this base recipe, sky's the limit. So again, this is Brian Rodgers. Have a great day. Check out our recipes at foolsgoldbarbecue.com. Hit the subscribe button right now and subscribe to the Fool's Gold Plant-Based Barbecue Show, and I'll be seeing you soon on some future videos.